Hello guys, Stanoxel here and welcome back to another video. In today's video I will be talking about FNCS Group 1, who made it to Grand Finals and unfortunately we did have some really big teams miss out, but I will talk about later in the video, so stay tuned for that. So first, let's talk about NA. This was by far not the hardest group on NA, but we still had some big teams in the group, like Acorn's team, like Boogie's team, Rice's team, and also a few underdogs like Day, the 2 times FNCS winner, and Verge, who's been playing really well lately, and also none other than the big Oliver OG. So, let's talk about who made it through. In game 1, we had none other than Oliver OG take height and manage to close it out and win game 1, making them the first team to qualify for Grand Finals on NA in Major 3. Then in game 2 we had Taki, Ishu and Vert make it through with an 8 elim win. And then in game 3 we had the World Cup winner Booga take home the win with a 13 kill win, after they took height early on upon Power Zone and managed to hold it until the end. In game 4, we had Rice, G-Money and Weave close it out with a well-played methodical 9 kill win. And then in the last game, we saw the Major 1 FNCS Grand Final winners, Agers, Acorn and Poyo, get over the line with an 18 kill win. This was a bit special because Acorn had said earlier that it did not want to qual in the first games to get more practice in because of the luck of tournaments and also hold down Demon's Domain as their drop spot, but they did get over the line, and that is the most important part after all. Now, let's talk about the 5 teams that qualified off of consistency. So, we had Void, Broken and Kingling qual with 229 points, which makes them the most consistent team on NA. Closely followed by Power, Blue and Sanda on 201 points. A bit of an underrated call there. Then we had Aiden, Carillion and Hound on 168. So a bit of a drop down there from Power's team. Then we had Core's team on 168 points. Also a little bit of an underrated team that made it through. They were on 168. So they lost on to Carillion's team on a tie break. And then the final team that qualified was Liam's team on 166 points. Unfortunately, that means that the 2 times FNCS winner Day unfortunately did not make it and will have to rely on last chance to qual to Grands. Now, over to EU. This one is a hard one because we did miss some really big teams this group, but let's go over the teams that did make it first, starting with the teams that got the win. In game 1, we had none other than the FNCS winner, Marius, Pixie and Vanya, bring it home from Flooded Frogs, which you will see later in the video as well, that it is a bit of a trend. But they did manage to get a 9 elim win, which makes them the first team to qualify to Grands on EU. Then we had the Germans, Vedil, Cringe and Volko, win game 2 with 11 kills out of Enclave. They also managed to get a second in game 1, so well deserved there to get the win and qual Grands. Then in game 3 we had Ghost, Hyper and Shul get a 14 kill win out of, you guessed it, Flooded Frogs. Yes, you heard that correctly. After Vanya won the first game, they switched drop to Flooded and won in game 3, which goes to show how strong that drop spot actually is when you have drops like Demon's Domain and Supernova Academy, which is like the tier 1 drop spot. But I would argue that Flooded Frog is also one of the best drop spots in the game this season. Then in game 4 we had Nefrissi, Wheat, Nefrissi and Sinet get a 7 kill win to make sure they qualify to Grands. If you may know that Wheat Nefrissi originally played with Ilusha, who absolutely popped off in the Star Wars mini season or whatever you want to call it, but they dropped Ilusha for Sinet, and it turns out that that was maybe a good decision. We will have to see if Alucia managed to qualify as well. So, in Game 5, we had one of the GOATs, Trulex, get the win to qualify them to Grands after nearly missing out on groups in the first place. Then, the following teams called off consistency. We had Dinas, Giras, and Franek on 280 points. We had Rax, Sanji, and Belusi on 210 points, which is a bit unfortunate for the Savage fans, because that is the teams that are currently contesting Savage at the Resistance base. Then we had Chino, Pablo, and Ferdoxy make it through on 207 points, which is pretty surprising, really, because a lot of people had them qualify with a win out of Supernova Academy, which is one of the strongest drops this season. But they made it through on consistency, which is the most important part. Then we had Prochava, Kaisers, and Maciak on 198 points. Then finally, we had Loki, Sangild, and QB get the final spot on 189 points. So, after you have read that list, you might ask, hey, Sanoxale, what about Thomas HD? Well, they did not make it. And unfortunately, that is not because they played bad. It is because they did not load in to one of the games. And it is sad because they placed 11 just outside qual, because top 10 qualify, 5 teams with a win, and then 5 teams with consistency. And he was just outside, 1 place off, which seems, unfortunately, to be the story of Thomas HD's career. But we did not only have Thomas HD miss out, we also had the up-and-comer Shark, who's been playing really well lately, miss out along with the OG Refsguard. So they will have to leave it to last chance to get to Grands. So, that is it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what your prediction for Grand Finals is this season is. So, have a great day, and I will catch you guys in the next one.